everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. It's hard to imagine this not being a fun game to watch. It's the Titans going up against the Jets.
Fall is in the air, and the NFL season is in full swing, and we're underway here in Week 4. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. And a look here at their go-to guy under center. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he slings one that's incomplete. And the Buffet boys, the O-line, hopefully they're ready today.
Listen, you got to feed them first. But if you do, you usually get a great product out on the field. And when they play well, the quarterback can't wait to feed them afterwards.
Unable to connect on the first down pass play. Now it's second down.
Here we go.
They'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I believe I understand where the offense was going there. They just hit a big pass play, thought they could fool him with a run, but maybe they overthought it a little bit. Just hit a nice pass, come back with another one, keep the momentum going.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up. The starting defense for the Titans.
One of the areas of need for the Tennessee Titans in 2017, an elite safety. So they went out and signed Jonathan Cyprien from the Jacksonville Jaguars. I expect them to pair him with Kevin Byard, a rookie in 2016, and provide a strength for a defense that's looking for help down the middle.
Let's go.
They're going to look to throw. Room here to run. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Well, he's taken down, but not before picking up the first, thanks to a flashy little spin move. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Now they'll run on the draw. And not much. Maybe a yard down to the 23. In a word, I would say productive, finding the end zone 3 different times.
Is it possible that you're really underselling it? 3 touchdowns, just going to call him productive?
Right. What do you want?
This guy had a nose for the end zone.
He was good.
Had a snootful, didn't he? How about that? Big-time game. Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there.
And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Brian Orakpo coming in hard on the blitz. He gets him down for a loss of 4. You know, last week it was unbelievable how many times they were in the backfield. They had 7 sacks. Whatever they had for pregame meal last week, maybe they had it again.
I think they're going to continue to repeat it if they keep this up. But remember, we were at their facility, and we walked past the defensive meeting room, and what did it say over the door? Rush the passer. It's a philosophy. It's a statement. That's who they want to be, and they've been very successful with it.
Yeah, an opening drive sack.
Here we go now. Green 39.
A first carry for Elijah McGuire. And he'll be brought down inside the 20 at the 19. Give him 8 yards on the carry, and that's going to bring up 4th down.
After another really nice run, this is where a defense coordinator earns his money. His guys have been on the field a long time, so he's got to decide what he wants to do to try and slow them down. Is he going to substitute some players in, get some fresh guys, or is he just going to try to attack and try and find a way to take the ball away from them?
And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and the Jets hit the board first. It's 3-0. So the folks here in the stands this afternoon, they're happy about that one. Their guys get the early advantage after the opening drive field goal.
And they should be happy. Their guys look good getting down the field, and that's got to give them hope that good things are in store here today.
And after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. This is taken near the 13. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. They'll be led out by their quarterback. Out of Oregon, it's Marcus Mariota.
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. 1 touchdown pass. So he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he did throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. Offensive starters, here they are. And Delanie Walker, Charles, it's a guy that you and I said we wanted to discuss a bit.
Yeah, and we should, because remember, he came out of college as a wide receiver, so he's one of the early guys to move from a wide receiver position to tight end and still run routes as if he were a wide receiver. An excellent target.
Mariota. And some room to work. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're going to have a 3rd down. And quickly the starting 11 now for the New York defense.
It's almost as if Darren Lee said, welcome to the new NFL when he was drafted in 2016. He was a high school cornerback, moved to outside linebacker in college, and now plays inside linebacker in the NFL. Speed, speed, speed is his stock and trade.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on 3rd down to force the incompletion to set up 4th. He punted 5 times in the win last week as this one's away. 39 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I ever met.
That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
But that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Now the offense lining up 1st and 10.
Let's go. Green 39.
Back to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a 1st down.
And he whips that one incomplete there. He was looking for Devin Smith that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he let it just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a 3rd down and 6 to go.
And that was a good collision right there. And I know this as a former defender. If you're playing linebacker, you're going through a checklist on every play on who you think's going to get the ball, where you think the ball's going to go. Rarely do you expect the fullback position to get it, and on that play he did. So you got to steel yourself at that point because the contact is going to be strong.
We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Now Edwards to kick as he sends it away. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. Officially, that'll be marked down as just a 28-yard punt. And it'll be Titan football. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
But you do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3 and out.
And now they have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'm trying to do better here. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Now Mariota. And some room to roam now. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
Mariota will need a big play after the sack as the Titans come up 3rd and long. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And that is incomplete. And this pass defense, they were sensational in the win last week, and they're looking good here so far in this first quarter.
You know, we often talk about how offenses get locked in, and that runs over multiple games where they're really, in that zone. Defenses can be the exact same way, and I think we're seeing an example of it here.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out now come the Jets. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. The big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39, green 39.
And before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. 3-0 is our score, and we will return to MetLife Stadium after this. With Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin with you. It's the Jets in possession as we begin quarter number 2 here. They've got a 2nd down and 8 to start things out.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
Now a handoff looking right. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And they finally bring him down, but he reaches the 16. Big yardage that time for the Jets. 56 yards. One of the reasons that this team is on this win streak, big runs like that.
When you see runs like that broken off, you know this is a team that's confident running the football. A big reason why this streak has occurred, they've come together, had a plan, and stuck to it. And when you get big-time runs like that, it makes it easier to stay with it, doesn't it?
All right, here we go. Green 19.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it's caught. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
All right, here we go. Blue 90. Hot. Blue 90. Hot.
And again this time to the tailback. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
That almost felt like the defense said, he is not getting in. What a play.
Not only stopping him at the line, but pushing him back a yard as well. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. He's met behind the line, and a penalty flag may add insult to injury.
Offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
All right, here we go. Green 39.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Let's go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
On the carry, this is McGuire. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Jets find a way to stretch their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. So that drive, 4 plays. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Adoree Jackson on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field.
And this is their third drive. Maybe the focus right now not so much on points, but getting their first down.
And when you start off a game, you don't even think that's an issue, do you? But you go a drive, a second drive, no first down, that becomes an issue. Now you got to think about, okay, what type of play calling do I have to do to get us in a spot to pick that first one up?
Then he'll give it here to his running back. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on third down. And you know what offenses want? Win first down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on first down.
2nd down, Mariota. And he finds Corey Davis. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Tennessee getting the first down on a big play of 18 yards.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A first down throw for Mariota. It's caught by Davis. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's brought down. An 11-yard pickup for the Titans and a first down.
Yeah, they really needed to get something going, didn't they? They had punted on the last 2 possessions. The running game starting to come to the front for them, providing a nice pickup there to keep this drive going.
They go play action here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10 to the 7. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Throwing is Mariota. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line. Muhammad Wilkerson able to collapse the pocket and drop him for a loss of a yard.
On any first and goal, the real estate to work with for the offense is really cut down, and the defense knows it. So they often bring heat and pressure, which they did on this play. Got him down for a loss. Not a big one, but any loss of yardage in this position is tough for an offense.
Here's the former Heisman winner. It's Derrick Henry. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sacked back at the 9-yard line.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game.
Here's Ryan Succop for the Titan field goal. from the left hash, a chip shot here. And Succop will put this one right through, and they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
Yeah, as an offensive coordinator, if you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work. But in his defense, this has been a stifling defense so far. So they've got to start finding a way to unlock them as this game goes on.
Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. And he's well on his way to a 100-yard game. He's already more than halfway there. We're only in the second quarter.
And what I've always loved about running backs is they'll tell you, I had no idea how many yards I had.
Right.
Those guys have an innate sense of where they are in a ball game and how many yards they've accumulated, because you know they're always working towards 100.
He's been working well towards 100 here. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle to Smith. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains. First down, he'll drop to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Second and 10, he'll look to throw again. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to lead to a third down.
The Jets on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
They'll drop to throw. The open man is Smith. A good pick up there at 20 yards.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. We're just 2 minutes away from sending you to Orlando for Larry Ridley and our EA Sports Halftime Report, so don't forget about that coming up shortly.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a halftime without him, and we thank him for doing the highlights. Let's go get a snack.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing the slant pattern here complete. A gain of 6 there on first. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Over the middle, complete. That's Hanson. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, land it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And incomplete, he dropped it in the end zone.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Hunt. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
I think it's okay there. They didn't get a whole lot on that play, but it's nice to have a safety valve that's built like this guy. Big target, guy you can spot pretty easily. Put it on him when your other targets aren't open.
He'll look to throw. This is caught. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Oh, long drive. The defense just cannot seem to catch a break and get off the field.
Let's go. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. Now the Jets going to use the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. Shelling through the defense. Feeling the pressure here and taken down. A sack back at the 7.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This offense so far on 3rd down, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here.
They'll look to throw here. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sack back around the 8. Now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this 1st half.
And welcome back. The offensive unit, they took the timeout. And now they get set to line up as we resume action. And Catanzaro's kick is right through. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So they get the field goal, but part of that was a 14-play drive to get the 3.
Normally when you hold the ball that long, run that many plays, you end up in the end zone. There's a breakdown on the defense. Something happens. In this case, that didn't. But really good ball control by the offense. They're hoping that they can wear them down if they keep having drives like that.
This is fielded at the chalk of the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
And unless this is a quick incompletion, this is likely the last play here of this 1st half.
Final play of the half here, Mariota. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So we've hit halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the home team, the Jets, leading this one. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Charles. And welcome to our EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. The Jets are up right now and are looking to keep up the pressure moving forward. The Titans didn't play their best, and they'll need to be at their best now to come back. All right, let's roll those highlights. Now 2nd and 8. He'll head outside to the right on the run. He'll pick up more than 10 yards on the play. Later on the drive, he'll take this one off the right edge, and he'll go in for a score. pushing the lead to 10. Down to late in the first half, the quick pass, it's complete, and he'll make it out to the 34-yard line. Later on the drive, they stall out, settle for a field goal. So that'll do it from our EA Sports Studios. Let's get back up to New Jersey as we rejoin Brandon and Charles.
This will be fielded at the 8. Oh, he shifts past him. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. The Titan offense now working their way back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
A second down throw here for Mariota. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. It'll be a gain of 6, and they're going to face a third down. The Titans on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 4. Laundry on the field. This is going to be a false start on the offense.
Sometimes you have to slow things down a little bit when things get heated. The cadence has to be slow and deliberate at times to make sure your team's ready to go.
That's going to set them back 5 yards. The Titans on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. Mariota now. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Mike Pennell able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it'll be 4th down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Here's Brett Kern now as he's on to punt for Tennessee. Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. They'll call that a 33-yard punt with no return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Now, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
A give to the fullback on the dive. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They'll set up a throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken at about the 18-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And with this deficit, You can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut it, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
So second and medium, 2nd and 5 now. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's got room. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. The 20. Touchdown, Titans. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Titans have made this a one-score game. They blitzed defensively there, but he was able to slip through that first layer, and then he was gone.
I think they won the leverage game, didn't they?
Yes.
Right? They saw the blitz coming. That got to him a little bit, but they leveraged it perfectly and found not just a crease, a gigantic hole. And off he goes, and he's still going all the way to the end zone.
And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. So 2 plays on that scoring drive. That's how they drew it up. And the long run into the end zone, and what a run it was. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And a short kick, taking it about the 16. Oh, he breaks a tackle, and he's got an alley. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, New York Jets. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
Point after now from Catanzaro. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. And no doubt one of the most, if not the most exciting play we'll see in this game. The kick return all the way to the end zone for 6 points. So now the other return teams out there as they'll try to duplicate what they just saw. This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. They come in off a touchdown drive the last time they had the ball that cut down that lead. Now the defense has done their part, got them the football back.
Momentum started to shift a little bit when they scored the touchdown. It increased when the defense got them the ball back. Momentum definitely in their favor. Now they got to keep things cranking, keep it on high so they can keep cutting into that lead.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
So the defense gets to the quarterback. Now the offense backed up on 2nd down. Mariota. And that'll be incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long here for Mariota. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
All right, say it with me now. A lot of different words we come up with. Maybe we go back and forth after that play, getting his toes tapped down to make that catch. Crafty?
Yep. Wiley?
Oh, definitely.
All the veteran names?
You name it. Has every move in the book and continued to get better throughout his career so he can make that type of a catch.
35 yards that time on the punt. New York set to take the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll drop to throw. Over the middle, complete. That's Smith. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. He's got a 1st down and then some inside the 40. That good for 22 and a 1st down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the 2nd level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the 2nd level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
And now a 1st down following that long gain. On the give, this is their fullback. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Here we go.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Jet 1st down. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
And he is knocked down from the side. 2 yards gets them back to where they started, but now 3rd and 10.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's at the cornerback position.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And his kick is good. Didn't hit it all that well, but he got enough on it to put it through. And that will stretch the lead up to 13. So 3 field goals for him here, and this last one helps him stretch out the lead.
And he's been solid as usual. And this is what you need to do. Make sure you get points out of every possession. And so far, they've done a nice job of that.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
He took a hit on that last play. Now let's see how he and the offense respond on second. From the gun, Mariota. It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
The Titans on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. And an alley to run. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Titan football here as they trail to begin the 4th quarter. Here's Brett Kern now, as he's on to punt for Tennessee. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll go as a 42-yard punt, and they'll be aided by a loss of yardage on the return. New York set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady. Get those gains.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Past the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. They had the lead in the fourth, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
So they're going to go for 2.
Single receiver. Hey, you're on an island over there. Single receiver. Set. Green, 39.
Back to throw here. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their two-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. First down, Mariota. That is incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Now he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
That's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into...
It comes, and he lost the football. Mariota had it jarred loose, and it's scooped up by the Jets. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
You'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. New York set to take the field. They had the double-digit lead at halftime, and they have continued to roll. They're hard to stop right now.
I think what we're seeing is an example of a team that has it figured out in this ball game. And whatever the adjustments are the defense has made, hasn't slowed them, hasn't phased them at all. They either anticipated them or they've been so far ahead that they just can't catch up.
Now it's just a search to add to the lead. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
I know the game's not over, but there's got to be a sense of satisfaction right now for the guy carrying the football a bunch today. 99 yards, and he has enough time to go over the century mark.
Well, you got to give it to him again, right?
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. You're not worried about losing yardage here. You're not worried about any of that. You just want to get him to the promised land for every runner. 100 yards or more in a game.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. The Jets on 3rd down, not quite 50%, 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 4. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's got the first down yardage there as he takes it just across midfield. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Fresh set of downs here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively.
Here we go.
Now they try the right side here. And he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Now this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Play clock winding down. And now here's a carry heading left. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
2nd down and a little ways to go here. 2nd and 13. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Pushing through the contact. And an alley to run. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 11 yards on the pickup. And that'll lead here to a 3rd down. The Jets on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now McGuire. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Great play there off the end. Question, Charles, in a 4-3, you hear about the D tackles a lot. What's the role of the ends?
What they want to do is control the edges of the defense. And you always hear about an offense talking about setting the edge in the running game. Well, the defense wants to do exactly the same thing. In the defensive end, often against an offensive tackle, sometimes a tight end, they can't let themselves get hooked and let a running back get outside, because if they do that, that hurts the integrity of the defense overall.
My man, the encyclopedia. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
You like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that where you get symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there at 22.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? So the offense has it 1st and 10. Working out of the gun, Mariota. And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Throwing, Mariota. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Tajay Sharp, the intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, and that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
Mariota to throw it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
In a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
This one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
They've gone to their fullback quite a bit. He'll get it again. And a big collision there as he winds up flat on his back. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on third down. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line. Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Oh, it's a wobbler here. This one angles out of bounds in a good spot in the coffin corner. And they're going to mark this out of the 5-yard line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory, like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Throwing again, Mariota on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Jennings. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. The Titans on third down, as bad as you can be, 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now Mariota. And this is going to be incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. And just a net of 31 here, 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And the Jets will have a short field to work with as they take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels, because every team has a goal when they start the year to win at home. All right, and sometimes you don't win all of them, but they managed to get that done today. Just think about your routine stays the same. Everything's familiar. You feel right going into the game, and they translated that into a win.
They did indeed. They protected the home field, and now the final stages. They'll try and run with their fullback. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
Oh, and what a play on special teams here. This is going to be down inside the 5, all the way down at the 2-yard line. Out of his end zone, Mariota. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And one of the whistles for a timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Mariota now to throw on 1st down. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Got to be wary of throwing an interception here, because the defense knows they're going to get tested deep. That's why they're going to put a couple of extra guys back there to try and prevent that.
Well, late in the 4th quarter here, trying to preserve the lead. And Davis has it over the middle. And, Charles, you know what coaches always tell us. We want to win our home games. That much we know. We want to protect our home turf. They got that done in this one.
Exactly right. When you start a season, everyone's goal: win all of your home games, split your road games, and you're likely going to be in the playoffs. But when you win at home, boy, what a great feeling that is. You don't even mind if people are at your house when you get home after a win like that.
So for the Jets, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Jets as we say so long from MetLife Stadium.